Welcome back, dear viewers. The program is still Life Connect, and it is my name. I'm here with Mommy Cindy and Pastor Florence, and we're talking about arranged marriages. I just want to send greetings to our dear viewers. There are those other ladies who watch us program after program. Madam Florence, Focus Media Manager, Tukotomi Denyo, we send you lovely greetings. Madam Evelyn Akankwasa, we love you so much. Thank you for watching the show. Madam Christine Rugumire, you never miss Mami's show. Thank you so much. Thank you for loving Life Connect and many other dear friends and viewers, fans of Life Connect. We love you so much. Thank you for always keeping us this warm. You know, we are warm because we know you guys are out there watching.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I also want to remind our dear viewers that we are at Shine Resort here in Chigo, a place for you to be for workshops, for seminars, conferences, weddings, birthday parties, and a lot more. They have the best cuisines in town. Their meals are simply delicious. Just, you know, they have a very poor parking space, and they have a wonderful swimming pool. Come with your children over the weekends, and you will enjoy yourself. The numbers are running down there for details, and I also want to encourage you to follow us on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Please kindly follow us. We love you so much. They're running down. I want to welcome you, my dear panelists. Today, if I may call you, we are talking about arranged marriages. We have seen so much through arranged marriages. People have gone into, actually they have brought in the aspect of forced marriages and child marriages because of arrangements here and there. And we have, in the previous session, you're showing people that they should at least cause these people to meet, but let them leave them with a decision part. Let these people be able to make their decisions. I think we can pick it from there. Yeah, we were still talking about that.
Yes, thank you so much, Eva. Welcome back to the show. I just remember one incident. This was done so smartly. I remember Bishop was involved in this, and this couple is already living together. They are married and happily married. But I don't want to say so much details because the lady might be watching and she are not permitted to talk about it. But I'm saying it in a good spirit and give a good example. It was an arranged marriage, but it has worked. How it was done, of course, it wasn't forced. The guy approached Bishop and was like, in a certain preaching, you mentioned about a certain person. How can I meet this person? So Bishop had to ask so many details about this person. Who are you? Because I can't just let you meet my daughter, because it was a spiritual daughter whom he loved so much because he had raised her. So he had to talk to this man, and the man had to respond question after question, question after question. So finally Bishop was convinced. I was like, okay, now I can send a picture of my daughter. You look at her before I tell her, because he never wanted to tell his daughter and then before anything, and the man might change his mind. He was so careful. So he sent the picture. The girl was like, I'm very okay with it. Kindly give me the number. Finally gave the numbers. So as we are talking right now, I think their marriage is very successful. They are very happy. They are living together.
Oh, nice.
They wedded officially, and they are doing well.
So
we thank God. So sometimes it works.
Yes.
But what I'm talking about, it wasn't forced.
Okay.
It was done it was arranged, but in a wise way.
And Bishop took off time to collect some information
Before
find
he just met
out
this,
about
exactly,
this
about this person. Are you born
about his
again?
life.
Where do you go
Yes.
to church? Who is your pastor? How old are you? Have you ever married before? Do you have children? And stuff like that. Everything about him. Because he knew his daughter, but he didn't know this man. Okay. So before talking to the daughter about this man and excite her that somebody wants you and she doesn't know him, he had to ask so much from this person. So by the time he told this girl, this lady, he had gotten all the information he needed. So by the time they exchanged the numbers and stuff like that, Bishop had gotten so much information, and also the guy had gotten so much information about the lady. Yes. So when they met, of course they had to meet, they had to talk, and and they had to agree here and there. So you could see that there was a room for them to decide what they want. Are we going with this? Am I going to take this person? Is it the right person for me or what? So there was that room. Where it becomes a challenge, where there is no room at all, where we do it, especially sometimes mothers are very selfish. Because maybe you are seeing your friends, they're having introduction in their compounds, their children are getting married, and they're like, why mine are not getting married? And you want to force a marriage. And sometimes people have gone in wrong marriages because we are not looking the other side. So the intentions are very important. Why do you want your child to get married? Why do you want your son to get married as well? Number two, why are you interested in that family? Is it good intentions? Is it because of about money? Because if it's about money, we can send children wrong marriages because of finances.
Yes.
Yet you can give these children a chance to start their life together. And we have seen God blessing people. And they've been given a chance to start their life together, and they have known each other, they have grown, they are believing God, they are working small, but they have worked. So I think people should be given an opportunity to decide what they want.
Actually, Mami, I also think that when it comes to marriage, if there is any reason why someone shouldn't really, or someone shouldn't put so much at the forefront, I think it should be finances. Because there are so many, when we look at marriage, you can achieve, it is one of those things that you can achieve easily.
That's very true.
Yeah, because if it's
because
money,
riches come from God.
Yes, anyone can achieve. Maybe other factors, even when it comes, okay, other factors kept constant because you are working, you also have hands. God can bless you.
You have hands
Because
and
he said
brain.
you bless the works of your hands. Yes. So do you have
so why
hands
should
to
you
work?
honestly marry for money?
But people do that.
I don't think it is very wise because
I think
It
it's
is not
very
at all. It
selfish.
is
It's
very
very
selfish, like we're
selfish.
talking about.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's using people.
And it's short-sighted, being short-sighted, because you're just looking at tomorrow. You're just looking at today, you're not looking at tomorrow. How? Because you have removed God from the picture. Now it is you. You want to use human wisdom, human understanding, and you're removing God of the picture. What if you send your daughter into the marriage because of money, but the guy is only living 1 year, and your daughter is going to be a widow tomorrow?
And some
you
of
have
them
sent
will
her.
see that mommy as a strategy. You
No,
will
you
go,
send her to be a widow,
then
but
they'll have money.
I've seen widows who are struggling. They have
especially-
sent you in a marriage, but you know nothing about his business, and
Yes.
everything collapses.
And so
And you're
I
left
think,
with
I
nothing.
think people need to stop seeing marriage as a means to get rich,
Definitely.
as a means to get married, money.
Yes.
Marriage is for purpose. Marry the person you love. Marry the person you feel I can stay with this person to build my dreams, to build a family. Because there are people maybe who may be listening to us and they are saying, I need to get a man so I can be rich. I need to get married. I'm told these days there are also young men who say, I need to get a rich girl so my life can get better, sadly, you know. So this
sad.
is unfortunately happening in our society. But we are here to remind you, marriage is for purpose. And if your foundation is wrong, if it's built on a shaky ground, and you're getting into marriage for the wrong reasons, it will not last.
It will not.
And I think that if we use our children as a way to get better, to say that, you know, for me, I grew up in poverty. I had a bad life. So if my daughter marries, well, it is good to marry someone who has money. If they get someone who has money, hallelujah, we thank God. If they have
On
the
top
money,
of other
yes, other factors, and they
Yeah.
love them. Because at the end of the day, money is also important. We are not going to say, oh, we don't want money. Money is a critical ingredient in marriage, you know. But you need to have the right attitude to money.
I think
Money
money
should
should
not
only
cost
be a catalyst.
everything.
It
Yes.
should be a catalyst, but it shouldn't be the foundation.
The
Yes,
foundation, yes.
because I know I'm saying that because we have seen also in church where sisters marry and the brothers have a negative attitude to working, to money. He's not planning anything for the marriage.
marriage.
Where do you see yourself in
I
5
think
years'
the most
time?
important thing
He's
you have
not
brought out
working
is
hard.
to say marry for purpose. 'Cause
Yes.
if purpose is not known, then abuse is inevitable.
Yes.
Because if you come in marriage and you don't know the purpose for marriage, and so what happens if this person you marry, God forbid, gets an accident and then he can't work anymore? He's grounded.
And it's not
He
only
can't do
your
anything.
spouse, mom. It's not only one person to
And
work.
because you have married him because of his
Okay,
money,
because he
now
should
he's
also
grounded, he
work.
can't do anything. So you're going to jump on that marriage and go to another
so
marriage?
all your dreams are now shattered.
Are now shattered.
Because
So
If you married
The guy
for
I
is
money,
believe the Bible says two are better than one.
Yes.
If I come in, the husband has money, and I also come in, and we put our heads together, our wisdom together, our minds together, we work together, we can do great. Then, so don't come in marriage targeting, because what if you come in today and you lose the job? You have come in today, your targeting is working in an NGO, and then Trump comes and says closing NGOs. You say it is closed.
All the budgets.
So,
All the budgets are cut off.
And the
So what
money is
happens
gone.
now? You have to run away, you have to look for another
Yes.
one. So I think marriage is for purpose, and we should not play around with it. Like you said, if foundations, the Bible says, if foundations are faulty, what will the righteous do? Psalms 11 verse 3. What will the righteous do? So the foundation of the marriage matters a lot, and the foundation should be God. Somebody should be born again.
Yes.
Do we fear God? Do we have God in this marriage? God is the factor. God is the foundation of every marriage that is going to stand. Because this business of good looking, money, there's
All
no one who
those
can
things
come
can
and
pass.
say, you know, you see my marriage is working because I married a very handsome man. Nobody can talk like that. But someone can come and testify, my marriage is working because I married a God-fearing man, a God-fearing
Someone
woman.
with godly
because,
values.
Exactly, because every marriage has its own challenges. You might have money and your challenge might not be money, but there will be challenges in marriage. What is going to help this marriage is the fear of God. If you can stand and pray and believe God, some it's childbearing. They have all the money, but they are challenged with childbearing. I went through infertility for 8 years. There was no baby. But what was making the marriage to stand is the fear of
The
God,
foundation.
the foundation, the prayers.
The
And because we
foundation.
stood together, we prayed and God blessed us. So there are challenges in any marriage. You can admire it and seeing it moving us like, wow, this one's from a big family, they're from the royal family. They have challenges everywhere. But what's going to make that challenge, that marriage to stand? The purpose. Do we know the purpose of this marriage? I think all of us will seen Meghan got married in the royal family.
Yes.
But we got to know the secrets in the royal family. Who knew that the royal family is racist? We didn't know about all that. But we're admiring the glamorous wedding, the royal wedding, and everybody was like, wow, 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 wow. But there were challenges in that marriage. But because they married each other, they had a purpose for their marriage.
And they loved each
They
other.
loved each other. They stood for each other. You see? But in the royal family, you're not supposed to marry out of the royal family. You were supposed to marry the royal family.
So it is so common when it comes to planned marriages, when it for the royals. Eh?
Yeah, royal families, you don't marry anywhere else.
Yeah,
But
those
we
ones
see
are
these ones
usually
succeeding.
arranged.
But they were shaken. They were shaken. But because they loved each other, they stood for each other. Say, okay, even if we're going through what we're going through, we are going to stand together. And Harry was like, I love you, I'm going to stand for you. If he didn't love her, he was going to leave her.
Yeah.
But he stood with her all the way.
Yes.
And they approved to
Even
everybody.
losing some benefits.
And
but
losing
he
some
got
benefits
stuck
of the
with
royal
her.
family.
Yes.
Why? Because he loved it. That is true love we're
It
talking
shows his
about.
happiness.
So
Happiness.
marriage is a very important foundation. I mean,
Love,
love
yes,
is
love.
a very important foundation
Yes,
for marriage.
yes.
So even as we look at planned marriages, just as we have already been talking, it should be given space. Love should be given space. Yes, you're planning. You've planned for him to meet her or for this.
I think we can. What we can
give
say.
them room to
I don't know
Help
if
them.
there's always
For love,
We
love.
can
Take it
help.
apart.
I think we can help.
Yes.
Let's say, Eva, you have your daughter, she has a son, and maybe you are friends, and you wish your children to marry because you know each other. You can help, but you can't force. Where we are agreeing, all of us, is forced marriages. But we can help. We have seen the benefits, because if I know, you know this family and you know the other family, and the children have married, I think it's easy to cancel these people if they've gotten any challenge. So what we can agree is we can help. We cannot force. Marriage cannot be forced, but we can help. So you know
only
what?
gets bitter when it is forced
Exactly.
marriage.
Well, you know, because someone will blame you tomorrow, and that's why even God Himself is no longer forcing anybody. You see what Adam says to God when found in the Garden of Eden, and said, "Why have you eaten this fruit?" He said, "The woman you gave me." From that day, God is no longer giving a woman. He who find a wife
Finds
finds a good thing and has obtained favor from the Lord. He would do what? Find.
Finds
So
a
you do
wife.
the finding. God from there said, I don't want to be blamed. These issues of marriage, you find. You do the finding.
So, Mommy,
I'll
the people who are
bless.
listening to us and they are forcing, they are arranging these people. They are not arranging them with the idea that see yourselves. They are
That's what we
arranging
want.
them,
That's what
yes,
we're trying to educate.
with the idea that
You must marry from this
I
family,
want
or you must marry
my
so-
son to marry in this family. This is it. And maybe you're watching and you're doing everything possible. As you're doing it, this is what we are saying. Take the precaution. However, there has to be room for the children to make their own decisions. Because this is the ideal situation. But if you feel that you want to arrange, then you need to create the environment. Don't force them.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, your son or daughter may not, they may like the person, but they not like them for a marriage partner. They may not feel like...
Not everybody is good for marriage.
Yes, and I think what Eve was saying earlier about the motive, all of this happens sometimes because of what we can get. If someone marries from mommy's family, maybe they'll have status, they'll have something. Maybe it is good, but that shouldn't be the primary motive why you want to get married.
And Pastor, what you're saying is true. Some people have got to be disappointed. You have married for status.
Yes.
But when you enter the marriage, it's not status.
It's not as
it's
what
a human
you
being
thought.
you are going to be. Not everything glitters is gold. You can see the status, the glamour, the what. It is off. But when you go in the marriage, you're going to live with a person. This is a person who has no respect for women or no respect for men at all.
Yes.
Probably the way she was raised in her family. But remember, they have a status. Spoiled people can also have status.
Yes.
Raised badly, but they have
They
a
have
status. They have
status.
their status.
Actually.
They have,
So you have to endure
know,
that.
But the character is opposite the status. What are you going to do? Yes, the status is there, but now the real person is totally the opposite. So what we're trying to say, I was explaining that maybe Eva has a daughter, you have a son, and you have liked each other, which is not a bad thing. I can admire a family. Now this family, if my son marries in that family, would be a good thing. By the way, one time I was joking with Joshua, I was wishing him to marry somebody. I was like, Joshua, why don't you marry this girl? And we talked about it. As a parent, I looked at that girl, I was like, she's well raised, she'll be good and stuff like that. Maybe to him, he didn't see that way. He just laughed. Anyway, he's shy. He just laughed about it. He didn't comment. But me as a person, I was wishing, like, but you see how I converse with somebody and get to get his mind. Does he think that way? Because you can be wishing as a parent, and to him, it's like, no, mommy, the girl is told me I want a short one. Or the girl is short.
Not
I want
my
a tall
type.
one. Not my type, you know. So it will be good. You can admire. This is what you want to understand. We're not saying it's a bad thing to admire. You can admire a certain family for certain reasons. But go through with your son or your daughter.
And I think even, mommy,
Walk the journey
traditionally,
together.
in our traditional whatever ancestors, why they used to do this a lot is they were concerned about patterns. You know, they would go up saying, don't marry from that family. Those people, they are all-night dancers. And usually it is true, you know.
Yeah.
So they had valid concerns why they took off time to say, you know what, my son will not marry. And there will be sometimes old men, and they see the parents and say, that family, everyone who marries in that family, this thing happens, so go slow, you know. So I think they had good intentions.
That's what we said earlier. When the intentions are good, it's okay. And also when we have good intentions, we don't force. Well, that's what I was trying to work
good intentions, but unfortunately in this generation, sometimes the intentions are not like those of the past parents.
Because of the past, they were looking at the character.
They were looking at the values, how you're behaving. This is a good family. If you marry from this family, your children will also be, they would have good values, or they would be hard workers.
Sometimes the health bit of it,
the health
that
bit.
family has this health challenge.
But if people are just looking at status, or someone is popular and famous, this does not mean that they will translate into being a good marriage partner.
But also what I'm saying, Pastor, I want people to get it very well. It's not bad to admire a family, even if it has a status. But this is what you can do, wisdom I want to give. Walk the journey with your child. Hear what he thinks. I was thinking, there's a girl I always see there. Have you looked at that girl? That girl seemed to be good. Oh, mommy, no. You know, as young kids, they know each other. That girl, mommy, at campus, all the boys, they have known her. But for you as a child, you might see her in church, you see her, she's working with a man, but you don't know who she really is.
You're right.
But you have admired. So what I want to say that when you admire, don't deny the opportunity to the person who's going to be in that family to get to know each other. And also, as sometimes the intention we're talking about, people admire because of values we're talking about. Maybe this
values
family
are very important.
I have admired this family. They are God-fearing. I've seen the man, the woman, how she has raised her children, the dad, how the dad has raised his family, and you admire, which is not a bad thing. Maybe you know each other, because sometimes you think, if my child goes in that family, that lady is my friend. If anything goes wrong, I can be able to talk to that woman. You see how they are, these children, how can we help them? So sometimes people think like that. But again, the bottom line is these people should be given an opportunity
to
decide, make the decision.
To make the decision. I remember one time there was a certain singer, and he was single, and there was also a lady single. So there's this person who was really wishing if this girl can only be married to this guy. But unfortunately, the girl was in a relationship and she married. But she was wishing, which is not a bad thing, because she looked at the person and said, she would be a good wife for him.
They will connect.
Really, you know, they will connect. Things will move together. Things will work together. But unfortunately, the girl was in a relationship. And she was not seeing it that way. But imagine if it was forced, they have to marry, they have to marry.
Yeah, you can make something for them to separate.
First of all, the girl has to drop the relationship in which she has been, or the boy has
at
to
the end of the day, she can be disappointed.
And Mommy, this is what we also said earlier. Just because they are all musicians, just because they look compatible, doesn't mean they will be actually compatible in marriage.
In marriage, that's
they might find a problem together just because they are also doing the same thing.
That's true.
I think you usually say, and I've observed this as well, that opposites attract each other.
Yes.
So you may find that maybe they wouldn't have been
That's
happy.
right.
And the other thing I really wanted to add, if you're a parent watching as well, prayer is very important.
Exactly, thank you.
Pray about everything. We cannot
yes.
overemphasize the power of prayer.
That's right.
We serve a God who speaks, who guides, who directs. So as much as you're doing all this, pray about it. Because,
right.
you know, even our children, sometimes a child can be stubborn, but when that family is good, they might be going actually in the wrong family, or they might be in a wrong relationship.
Because anyway
this
truth
other
is
family is
every
okay.
family would, every parent would wish his or her child to marry in a good family. That is to be honest.
Yes.
Because no parent, you are a born-again Christian, I cannot want my daughter to marry in a Muslim family.
And history repeats itself.
To marry a Muslim.
What
I'm
we
a
see
Christian.
can happen
You know,
again.
as a Christian mother, as a born-again pastor,
Yes.
and as I've raised my child in Christian, I would want my daughter to be married to a born-again Christian. So no parent would want his child or her child to marry in a wrong family. So all this, but should be good intentions. And for us, we can only help. We can never run our children's marriages.
Yes.
We can only help and guide. Even when you're raising your sons, you cannot go and marry for them. They will marry, but what you do as a parent, guide your son. You guide, this is what you do. This and another thing, I think I learned it some years back when we got a challenge of these children were growing up, and then they saw each other, they admired each other, and they loved each other. And we were related to these people. We had nothing much to say no to their relationship, and they had to marry. So what I think as parents, because everybody wishes their child to do well, I think as a mother or as a father, raise your children talking to them. In this family, we don't marry in Muslim family. In this family, we don't marry in this.
You
talk
share
about
your
it exactly
with your
children. Talk about it as because you wish them. So if they grow up knowing that. Me as a born-again Christian, I'll never bring a non-believer. That's one. Me as a born-again Christian, as an educated child, I'll never bring non-educated person. Because maybe those are the values you need. Me as what? There are some families who says, if that family is separate, if the woman is a single mother, she's a divorcee, I don't want. To me, I don't think it is Christian. I don't think that is Christian.
That cause
exactly.
That person to be a single
I think that
Yes.
one, that is too flesh.
Yeah, that one
go
is
to
not
the
valid.
sense of racism.
Exactly, racism and
You cannot
tribalism.
marry
Some people can be so
tribe.
hard.
They
Don't
can
be
be
too
so
hard
hard.
that you're not kind.
Exactly. I think
Yeah,
we
don't be
should,
too
like we
rigid.
said, let's factor God.
Yes.
Will God be okay with what you are saying? Because I don't think God can
Pray
be okay
about
with the racism. That's
Pray
not
about
God.
the
God says we
situation.
should love one another. So I think everything should be godly. But it's right to talk to your children. You know, when you are marrying, don't marry in this family. Don't marry to family which is like this, like this, like this. They are not believers. They are
And Mommy,
this.
the good thing about prayer uncovers hidden things we do not see. Prayer gives us an opportunity to even see in the future of
Yes.
those children and their destiny.
And nothing is
So,
small.
yeah.
As young as your children are,
Yes.
like Miracle, me, I've already started praying about marriage. You will marry the right person. And I talk, and I know she will hear. And you will marry as a virgin. I talk about it as young as she is.
Yes.
I talk. I know those ears can hear. And she grew up hearing that I have to be married as a virgin.
Mommy, I went to
have to be
Budo in
married to a
secondary
born
school.
again.
They used to
She
tell
has to
us
know
to
it
pray
now.
for our husbands.
Yes.
Yeah, in Budo. I mean, I was in secondary, and that time you don't even think of marriage.
Definitely.
But they used to tell us in contact fellowship, pray for your future partner. And girls would all have like, what? Husband? Not even at campus? And then first I would just do actions, confess like this, pray like this. So I think for me, it's never too late. What you're doing is the right thing. To start early, let them know about marriage. And also we need to tell them, you're a man, you need to marry a woman with breasts.
Exactly.
A real woman.
Yes,
This is God's standard.
Yes.
This is what we have
Not
told our
trans.
sons. Yes, please, God hates this. God is against homosexuality. God is against this. When you marry a woman.
Exactly.
Not a fellow man.
And marriage is for God.
Yes, and it's for God. So I think it's very important as well. Because
very important.
the values, and this is why we are talking about families, because some families can be laissez-faire. For them, what comes goes. They are okay with anything. Are you happy?
Oh my God.
Do what you want. Yes, there are families like that.
The permissive families
yes,
that
so
permit anything.
I think it's very important. What you're doing is great.
I think
And
what you've
it will
talked
carry
about
with
is
them.
very important. Prayer.
Yes.
Let's never underestimate the power of prayer. As young as your children are, start praying, start talking. The Bible said death and life is in the power of the tongue. What you say is what you get. If you speak life, you get life. If you speak death, you get death. So what I'm trying to say is the words have power. If you raise your children telling them you will not marry a non-believer, they will know it. They will know that it's a no-go area. Mommy already said it, and we grew up hearing it. And if you say you will not marry, like she's saying, you will not bring a man as a wife to you. You are a man, you marry a woman.
And as you
they
say
grow up hearing it. As you
pray
say
for it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So as they hear it, they will know that this is our values. At our home, we have values, and our values are A, B, C, D. I want you to know that even when they grow up, they will never run away from it. The Bible says, train up in a child that they will never depart from.
Yes.
This is already training. You will not be a homosexual. It's against God. They will know. As you are talking about, sometimes I think parents, we take things for granted. We say, they are still young, they don't know. They are young, but they have ears, they can hear. So start now before the enemy starts. Don't allow the enemy to go ahead
But
of
the
you.
enemy has
Do
already
it
started.
now. Because
even
the
in
enemy is
schools.
not waiting.
Yes.
You do it now. There's no time to wait. Do it now. Sit them down. Talk to them. She has boys. She was telling us before we go for the show that for her, she talks to her boys. You don't beat a wife. It's very good because they will marry one day. Today they are young, but tomorrow they are going to marry.
Yes.
But they will already know that we don't beat women. Mommy used to say it.
Yes.
You know me, as we are closing, my mother used to talk to us. Said, if you dare and a man touch you, I will know, I will dream. I was in high school, so I grew up hearing men. Why? Because I knew even if I talk to a man and give him a hug, I'm already pregnant. And the mom is going to dream. And she'll tell, I'll cut those breasts, fry them and give them to the dog. You see the dogs outside, they'll enjoy your body very well. So I grew up knowing, even if a man say hello,
So
my mother knows. So one day we were talking with my sisters. Then my sister said, but do you know what? The first time I got a boyfriend, I came home so scared. And we're already married, now we're talking about it. Then I said, what happened? She said, I thought mommy is going to tell me, you have a boyfriend. I dreamed. It's the day I realized she was just talking.
She did not even dream.
Exactly. How come she didn't tell me that you are dating somebody? But she was already working at that time. But why do I say like that? I thank God for my mother. It helped me to keep myself. It helped me to be who I am today. Those words, they kept on ringing.
Your mom really worked hard, ma'am. She wanted
she had
you to
4
be
girls
a nun.
and 1 boy. She had 4 girls. So she used to say, no one should even if they hold hands, you get pregnant. So you should not do it. So you knew that even holding hands, you get pregnant. The man say, you will take off. Because you know that is pregnant already. So we were so prepared growing up. But at the end of the day, it helped us.
Yes.
So what I'm saying, parents, talk to your children. Those words have power.
Wow, thank you so much, Mommy Cindy, and thank you so much, Mommy Florence. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching this program, Life Connect, where we navigate life together. Today has been another day talking about arranged marriages. Yeah, they've said a lot has been said about arranged marriages. They are good in one way or another, depending on the intention. Why are you arranging? And in that arrangement, have you given someone a chance to make their decisions, or the arrangement has turned out to be a forcing? We are moving now into a forced marriage. Forced marriages are not good. It is good to cause people to meet, to link up people. Yes, that's okay for any intentions, so long as they're godly and good intentions. And on top of it, the ladies or the women of God have been sharing that you shouldn't forget God in this whole thing. Prayer is very important. Someone might be good, very well groomed, brought up in a good family, but that alone does not make him the best partner for your child or for your son or daughter. So as we close this show, I just want the women of God, each one of them, to wrap up just in a sentence or two, and we shall call it a day. Yes, I'll start with Mommy Florence.
I just want to emphasize that don't force anybody into marriage. Give them the opportunity to choose.
Wow.
And then we shall all be happy. Yeah, I send my regards to my husband and my sons.
Thank you so much, Mama Florence.
And all the viewers of Life Connect.
Wow.
God bless you all.
Bless you too.
Yeah.
Mommy Cindy?
Yes, I want to say thank you so much, Eva. Thank you, Pastor Florence. And thank you so much to our viewers. Thank you for loving Life Connect and Kingdom TV. We thank God so much for what the Lord is doing. I believe you've been blessed today. You've been educated. You have borrowed a leaf here and there. And I know it's going to help you. As a parent, take care of your children. Be involved in your children's life. Don't wait. Don't allow the enemy to go ahead of you. Start now. This is the time to pray for your children, to talk to your children, to counsel them, and let them know the values of your family. God bless you. I love you one by one. See you in the next show.
Thank you so much, Mommy Cindy. Thank you so much, Mama Florence. It is always a privilege for me to host you on Life Connect. And I know the viewers have learned a lot, most especially today when it comes to arranged marriages. You have had the benefits, the challenges, and a lot more. I know you've had just a lot. And I just want you to be cautious and to allow yourself to learn. Yes, thank you so much for watching the show. It is always here every Tuesday. Don't miss. And I just want to remind you still that we are at Shine Resort here in Chigo, where you can come for all your recreational services there, for parties, nice weddings, and a lot more. And please don't forget to check us out on our pages. The pages are running down there, and I love you. Thank you so much for viewing. Catch up next time.